Hello, I'm John, the executive producer here at Final Show Films. I got a few notes for you before the show. First, I want to thank you all for watching. We couldn't do what we do or the amount of things that we do without the support of you, the viewer. If you want to support us financially, which we always appreciate, you can go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, where you can donate as little as $1 a month to help us continue this and all the things that we do. I want to give a special shout out to our $25 supporters, Antitonic, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. Second, I want to let you all know that we here at Final Show Films are planning a little get-together up at Gen Con this year. That's August 2nd through 5th up at Indianapolis. We're going to be up there just sort of hanging out, enjoying the con, spending time together, and if any of you guys want to come up and say hi, please feel free. We don't bite unless you want us to. And if you enjoy whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to, be sure to check out our website at finalshowfilms.com, where you can find links to all of our other content, both podcast and video. And be sure to follow me at John A. Bates on Twitter for more updates on all of the content we're creating in the future. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. And we're live!
Hi, everybody. Welcome to West Rising, the Werewolf the Apocalypse Chronicle. I'm the storyteller, Michelle, and let me introduce our players for this evening. Jack.
Hey, everybody. I'm Jack. I'm playing Tig Connolly, the Fianna Ragabash.
And John.
I'm John, and I'm playing Shadow, the Get of Fenris Arun.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Erin. I'm playing this Soul, the medic.
And Craig.
Hi, I'm Craig. I'm playing Grudek, the Bonar Galliard.
And William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing C. Walsh, the Lieutenant Philodox.
Previously on West Rising, when last we left the new World Bearer Pack, they had been officially inducted into their tribes and their sept, and they were headed to the city with Silver Glare, the Fianna warrior, who serves as second in command for the Cairns defense. What was ostensibly a little trip for some shopping and to get Tig his tribe tattoo ended up serving a second purpose, which was for Silver Glare to confidentially and without being overheard by any of the other sept members, let this new pack know that she thinks somebody in the sept is dirty and has been leaking information to the Black Spirals. So that is where we left off, and at the moment, Grudek is off speaking with a contact, and the remaining members of the pack are still in the car with Silver Glare. Grudek will return to you in just a moment, but for now, what's the rest of the pack up to?
Tig is checking to see if he can see his back and see if the paint is still there. Because he woke up this morning and was like, I'm going to get a tattoo, and then suddenly realized, wait, we might have to draw this back on again.
He'll probably have to get some packmates' help to,
Mm-hmm.
see what's going on.
I just sort of reach over and pull the back collar of his shirt down.
Is it still on there?
It's good and on there. She used some kind of ink, so it's actually stained the skin.
Yes, it is still there.
Are they going to have to shave my back?
Likely.
I don't know.
All right.
Why would they shave your back?
Well, it's kind of hard from what I understand for them to get a needle in if you still got bits in the way.
Why are they putting a needle in?
Because they're putting
That's how
ink
they get the ink on. So tattoos
That's what he
are some of the various members. I'll list off a few people in the pack that have them. The marks on the skin, usually black or dark browns. You take a needle, fill it with some ink, ... You've got a tattoo.
Reach over and indicate, because I'm wearing a tank top, so I don't have any sleeves. I sort of indicate the scalded in brand on my shoulder.
Yeah,
this.
those look.
Yeah, kind of. It's just a different method of getting a similar effect.
Hmm. Okay. So Tig is going to be branded. Don't
Well-
worry, it doesn't hurt that much.
It takes a little bit longer, and it probably hurts a little bit less.
It's like if instead of doing a brand all at once, you did a whole bunch of tiny little brands with a little tiny brush.
You'll see when we get there.
That seems ineffective.
It
It works. Like I said, you've seen them on people. They end up working.
I will be interested to see this.
Most tattoo shops will let friends watch.
Just standing there,
also
intimidating the
let
tattoo
friends make
artist.
fun of you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Let us go to this tattoo.
Silver Glare seems to have a pretty clear idea of where she's going. It's probably about 20 minutes away from the bookstore where she dropped off Grudek to speak with his Bonar pal. It's, as such places go, it looks pretty clean, pretty reputable. There's just a guy and a woman working in there. The woman's actually beefier than the guy, and she seems to know Silver Glare pretty well. Greets her immediately when she walks in, and Silver Glare says, "I got another
How does
one."
she greet her?
Just, like gives her a fist bump and is like,
So she doesn't say a name or anything.
no.
Okay.
She's just like, "Hey, you again," and
Alright.
gives her a fist bump, and Silver Glare says, "This is Tig. He's sort of like a cousin of mine. He's from Ireland. Anyway, he wants to get a tattoo like mine. So you think you can set him up?" And the woman's like, "Oh, hey, yeah, cool, yeah, okay. I'm Fran. Good to meet you. So,
Pleasure.
so where do you want it? I've done this tattoo 100 times. I don't know why, but yeah, not
Kinda
100
give-
times. Okay, a dozen times."
Can I make like a empathy or larceny or something for like how certain is she that we are totally in a gang? This is Oakland.
Yeah, do like
It's-
perception
Or no,
and
it's San Francisco, but
yeah.
I was gonna say, would it be like intelligence and streetwise or what?
It'd probably be like I'd say like perception and streetwise maybe.
Perception. Okay.
Yeah, because you're trying to see how much this person thinks you are a gang.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You're reading her to see
I'm just sort of standing behind Tig, looking down at them.
and I'd give it like a difficulty 7 because it's a fairly subtle thing you're trying to read here.
not
I'll
empathy.
go for that too.
1 success.
2 successes.
Okay, so Thistle, you can tell that she's not hip to the werewolf thing for sure. Tig, you get the idea that she thinks she knows what she's dealing with, but but that she's wrong.
Right. So yeah, Tig will just drop his jacket, pull his t-shirt over his head, and just kind of turn around and be like,
All right. Having never gotten a tattoo before myself, Jack, how long do you think this would take?
what are you talking dimensions? Like, we talking like, are we doing a small one, like just a 6-inch? Are we doing like a foot-long, decent-sized one?
I'm thinking, let's see, you wanted it, where exactly did you have her
I had
paint?
it
It was
the back of my shoulder here,
back
basically.
of the, yeah, so it's like, I'm thinking like smaller than your hand. Yeah, like
Palm size?
like a palm size.
Hand size, we're probably looking at 45 minutes.
Okay. So y'all get to hang out and watch him get inked, and you can, discuss whatever that's not incriminating.
I just stand,
I'm sure a lot of non-incriminating discussions go on in here.
I just stand off to one side, staring at the ink, like staring at the needle and just sort of watching the ink go in and the needle. It's like sort of watching the whole process.
So
And why-
I'm watching Tig really amused because I've never had a friend who's sober do this. But so see, you grew up here too?
The hell makes you think Tig's sober?
I've never had a friend who was sober enough to realize they were making a commitment.
Thistle asks, yes, actually, I grew up not far from here, not necessarily in the exact same area, but it was a short drive to get here at any individual day.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm sort of on the other side, like long train ride, but you know, I mean, I really should probably just try and find my own place. It's just housing.
I've never had that problem. Mostly lived with family most of my life.
I mean, like I could live with family, but I do live with family, but
Don't we all?
No, I don't.
That's fair.
Where are your family now, Tig?
That's fair.
My dad's still back at Brunaboyne. My ma's down, well, assuming that she's keeping me updated on her location, she's mostly been spending her time down in Donegal.
I mean, if those girls get their way, I'm sure you'll have family soon enough.
You shut your feckin' gob.
Why?
He says with a smile, definitely not taking it seriously or personally.
No.
And then the needle hits you in the shoulder again.
There's lots of kind of lower jaw jutting forth, deep breaths, that sort of thing.
Be sure to tell
No,
them
Tig.
about how manly I was.
Silver Glare says, now, Tig, I'm sure that your ma did her job and taught you well, not to go getting yourself in trouble, but now might be time for you to start reversing all that good training that she drilled into you, because she sort of glances at Fran. The values of the people you're hanging out with these days are a little different. We're very into family.
Well, family's got its values, sure enough, but I'm pretty sure this ink is the only lifelong commitment I'm looking to make in the short term.
Well,
So, Michelle, just quick clarification. How does the psychic bond thing manifest? Do we have to physically speak? Is it more like psychic thought thing?
it is like a form of mental telepathy, yeah. So, and it can work over pretty long distances. Not like if you were to go out of state, it might start to break down a little bit, but anywhere in the city or the area.
So it doesn't require anything verbal, just focus and direct,
Yeah,
basically.
More
Yeah,
like
but you do have to focus, like you have to give it like full attention. So you couldn't do it as casually as you could speak while you were doing something else, but like if you stop and really focus on what you're saying.
I mean, all I'm doing is watching Ty get a tattoo. So
Yeah.
this is going to start experimenting a little bit. Just sort of send the general impression of, I mean, I don't know if those girls are looking to be family so much as they're looking to know you in a biblical sense. Just over the link more than.
That was the part of the Bible the sisters usually tried to avoid as much as possible.
You hear an echoey voice. No totem, who this?
So just in the middle of the tattoo parlor, for no apparent reason, C just.
Silver Glare actually looks faintly shocked that C is exhibiting an emotion of any sort. She's just like, whoa. She has no idea why, because she can't hear Wells' totem link, but she's like, whoa.
All she sees is C just suddenly like stops for a minute to stop himself from completely cracking.
She probably can't tell if he's cracking up or if he's like really upset, at seeing Tig in pain or whatever. So she's just kind of studying him like, what is going on here? Oh yeah, and Grudek isn't actually present either. So yeah, I guess that's the echo. Of
Right. Yep. Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Thistle is clearly finding Tyg being in pain a little bit amusing, because there's 100% no actual physical danger to him right now.
Yeah.
We're
Just
allowed
hurts.
to find it amusing.
over the mental link shadow, like directing it at Ty, but no idea if anyone else is going to hear it. Didn't really care if anyone else hears it or not. Just be careful not to bite your tongue. When you jump, your mouth opens.
You get no words in response, but just whatever the mental equivalent of a very slow nod is.
And then physically, Shadow just nods.
And in the sudden silence, as you're all focusing on, communicating with each other mentally, Fran is basically just complaining to Silver Glare about her love life and stuff. She's apparently dating some dude that, has displeased her in about 14 different ways that she's listing in great detail. And Silver Glare is just, nodding and saying, oh, yeah, men. Yeah, men are the worst.
I am not really qualified to be part of that discussion.
And the clearly male other tattoo artist who's actually working on someone else keeps glancing over every time they do the whole men are the worst thing.
Oh, I'm curious. Does it seem like is the dated one?
No, he doesn't look that annoyed, but he mostly looks annoyed at the general misandry going on.
The sex. Yeah, that's fair.
Yes, but not quite incensed enough for him to be the exact guy she's talking about. But yeah, he's obviously listening to the conversation with great interest. Maybe he wants to be the guy that she's talking about.
I mean,
Who knows? Tattoo parlor drama.
I hate your gender is usually a red flag.
Yeah.
Not for everyone.
It's probably not going to get anywhere. That's a sure way to
yeah.
make your job suck even worse.
Yep.
So,
oh man, this is going to be awesome. With increased healing, it's going to only take him like an hour to heal over his tattoo. Oh man, I am jealous.
Does increased healing apply to your common form?
Yeah.
I'm being stupid about werewolves.
I think in breed form, at least some of the magic healing stuff doesn't work in breed form, but I'm not sure which
That's fair, yeah.
But it actually is good, because if you were healing as fast as werewolves heal while she was doing the tattoo, she would be noticing,
Yeah,
as she was working.
It's hard to get a tattoo to stick around. It would probably be hard to get a brand to stick around. Sorry, I'm not going to dive into logistics tattoos.
I actually meant to say this at the time, but I was all caught up in the whole ritualistic thing of it. But when he did the brand on Shadow, he also actually rubbed ash into it. So he was literally making a mark so that even when it heals, it's going to be like a dark, messed up looking scar. Yeah. So there was ashes rubbed into the wound while it was still raw. Yeah, it's pretty gross.
It's pretty fierce looking, is what we're saying.
Yes. It looks badass.
Especially standing over Tig and the tattoo artist, staring at the work this whole time.
But yeah, once Tig wants his tattoo to heal, he just has to shift into another form, and it pretty much just
nice.
heals super fast.
Glabro for a second. All right, we're good.
Yeah, exactly. He can do his fair Glabro and just walk around the city, healing rapidly. Yeah. So how long do you think, Craig, your little errand will take? And did I believe you arranged? Did you arrange to have Silver Glare pick you back up at the bookstore at a certain point? Or
yes, yeah, it was at the bookstore when they're done. I think he can be finished and back by the time they wrap up the tattoo and a little clothes shopping.
Okay, so his contact is near enough to the bookstore that he can get there.
Yeah, I think he'd probably hop some public transportation and then would be
okay.
Maybe 20 minutes from there.
And then he'll be able to signal the pack for when it's time.
Yeah.
They can tell Silver Glare to go pick him up. All right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, obviously, you tell me if timing is a complication, but I hadn't pictured it being one.
No. Just trying to get an idea of the sequence of events here.
Sure.
So any other complications or discussions going on during the tattooing process?
I think that's the extent of it. Just a few light jabs at each other.
Like local kid talk, essentially. Nothing incriminating, but
All right. So are they gonna?
And Shadow being very concerned that Tig might accidentally bite his tongue.
Are they gonna pick Grudek up before they finish up their city errands, or are they gonna poke a few more shops in the area before they go and get him?
I imagine once Tig's tattoo is done, Thistle will just through the link. Grudek, you ready for? We just finished up with the tattoo. You need pickup now, or should we start the quest for pants without you?
I think with that same sort of general echoey reverb, you hear back a little faintly. No, go ahead and quest for pants. You come get me when you're finished. A little more time finding out some interesting things.
So I need to know what sort of roll would I make to know how raw the tattoo is.
That's a medicine.
Like
Probably-
to know like how raw a tattoo is after, like.
Probably intelligence and medicine.
All right, because I need to do a thing.
How body work?
If you don't have any dots in medicine, you can't make this roll, though, because it's a knowledge-based one.
I don't have any dots in
Oh,
medicine, so I
good
don't. I have
point.
no idea. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
You might
got
be
no
able
clue.
to guess based on your own experience with your brand, but that's about it.
Yeah.
My own experience with my brand was 6 successes on my stamina roll.
So who knows?
So like as Ty gets up and like puts the jacket on, I just sort of clap him on the shoulder. You did well. Completely
Yeah.
straight faced. Like,
Right up until about now, I did. You're a lovely fella, Shadow. I'm going to be in the car.
right.
And he makes a beeline to the car, climbs into the back, and shifts into Glabro.
That actually just twigged a nerve in C's mind. So he actually kind of, Shadow, we should actually speak in the car for a minute.
I just turn and head towards the car.
Yeah.
You actually should probably roll, Jack, to shift into Glabro, just to make sure that you don't,
Completely ruin it.
fail at it.
End up a wolf instead.
I don't think that's quite how that works, but that would be amusing. No,
I think if you fail,
number.
I think if you, it would be great if you like botch the roll or something and end up in Krynos form in the backseat of the car.
Yeah.
Whatever
Let's not
storyteller
really
deems
good
is
at
appropriate.
So
That's what botches are
That-
for.
That would be, yeah. Setting off the delirium and like a dozen passerby. That would be awesome. No, but you did it, I assume. Yeah.
Yes.
3 successes. Okay.
I head out to the car with C.
Yeah.
Yep,
So,
okay.
so you step into the. Where to, Thistle?
because I want that. This will. I'm gonna check. Just like points to one of the shops down the street. I'm gonna check for a few things. I'll be right back.
I apparently need big and tall.
I think I know a place we can go, says Silver Glare.
Okay.
But it'll be another bit of a drive, so you'll want to hop into the car. Thistle,
course.
you're gonna wander the neighborhood here for a while, or
Oh, it's just something quick. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay. Just let one of your pack mates know if you need me to swing by and pick you up.
So C brings Shadow into the car and shuts the door. So that conversation actually just registered to me. You don't have a Hamid name.
No, I do not.
Shadow is a bit unusual for a normal human to be called.
Shadow Moon. Call him Shadow Moon.
That's still going to get attention, Tig.
It was in a book I read.
That doesn't make it a good name.
That's what the book said. And there's my Neil Gaiman reference for the night, everybody. You're welcome.
How about Chad? It sounds like Shadow.
Oh,
Silverglare.
Silverglare, you got to be shitting me.
Doesn't he look like a Chad?
You can call me Guerrero.
Guerrero.
Where'd you hear that name?
It's Italian. It means warrior.
It works.
Fair enough.
Actually, that actually works. Guerrero it is.
All right, I'll try to remember that one.
But Chad Guerrero it doesn't have a good ring to it.
Shane Guerrero.
Shane. Or Sean.
Uh-huh.
Sean's a good Irish name.
Sean Guerrero. Now Sean Guerrero I can get behind.
Here.
Sean Guerrero. All
I
right.
believe there was a great warrior at one point in time called Eddie Guerrero.
Make him stop. Somebody make him stop.
Eddie would win.
No, I'm afraid I will not be able to keep a straight face and call you Guerrero, my friend.
Okay.
Sean Guerrero I think works.
So,
Not naming you after a fucking pro wrestler.
I don't follow pro wrestling, and I ran a Star Wars game where one of the characters named their character John Cena, and I didn't get it until it was far too late for me to nix it.
Good thing we got that one.
I did notice the other side of that being a Star Wars reference.
Okay.
All right. That's
so
been
Silverglare drives Sean Guerrero and and Tig to a big and tall store to get some more clothes for Sean, Mr. Guerrero. And also,
Yes,
we're
Mr.
probably
Guerrero
looking
was
for
my father.
clothes for Tig too, because he's only got the one outfit he's been wearing for like 2 days now. Right? Because he didn't bring any clothes with him. He didn't bring a suitcase or anything. So,
And I'm fucking broke.
so she just goes to kind of like a little cluster of shops where there's like 4 or 5 clothing stores in a row. It's just kind of a shopping area district, and find some decent street parking somewhere, and just lets you guys hop out and just kind of wander among the stores and find whatever suits you. But she does check before you guys. She lets because it's the 3 of you now, right? Wander off together. That someone is able to pay.
Yes, I can handle all of this actually.
All right, because I have a little bit of cash I could give you, but not enough for significant clothing. So you got it handled?
Yeah, I can I can get them both a couple of outfits. It should be fine.
All right. I'm just gonna stay near the car and wait for you fellas to come back.
All right. So, first off, Guerrero, we need to find you something more than just what you've got. So let's start with the big and tall.
Go on.
So C leads the 2 of you into the big and tall store.
Duckman.
And all right. What are you looking for? Just something that covers you? I don't imagine that you've got too much of preference.
Shadow sort of looks down. Right now he's wearing a black undershirt, tank top, jeans, and work boots. That's it.
More like that.
Shrugs.
The sales associate who wanders over is standing next to anybody but Guerrero. He would look pretty huge, but he's actually somewhat dwarfed by your friend and seems faintly put out by that fact. You can tell he's used to being the biggest guy in the room. And
Isn't Tig also still in the human?
Tig's still in Glabro form, so he is almost as big as Shadow right now. Not quite, but close.
This guy's not used to having as many tall people as this.
yeah, Tig should get a couple of Glabro outfits while he's here.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy, pastes on a friendly expression because he's hoping for some commission and, helps you guys find your size, what you're looking for.
The whatever shirt is decided on, Shadow begins taking off his shirt right in the middle of the store to try it on.
Hey, dude,
They have dressing rooms back there for you.
Oh, icon goes to the dressing room.
Tag just like starts at a shelf and just pulls like 4 things off without really looking at anything but the size. Same with pants. And then he's going full pack rat at this point.
I believe I end up getting basically like the fighting game skin recolor outfits. like black, blue, black, and then yellow, white, brown, and then and then brown, purple, blue, like.
So if these are fighting game palette swaps, please tell me that someone sneaks in there like a bright neon pink.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
Totally.
that would definitely like purple top, pink pants, and yellow shoes are definitely one of the
fairly
outfits.
normal set of colors, bright neon pink version.
Yep.
C makes absolutely certain that there's at least one overly large button down that Shadow can just leave completely open with the undershirt underneath it.
It's like a Hawaiian print, like a Hawaiian print shirt. So like Hawaiian print shirt, white tank top, and like Easter pink pants with like brown boots, and that's what he ends up walking
as
out
soon as
wearing.
that ensemble gets selected, see something shiny flies at your head.
Catch it.
It's a gold chain.
Puts it on.
Kind of goes with the rest of the ensemble, I think.
And that's probably what Shadow walks out wearing.
I like the fact that Shadow's thinking, well, I've seen Grudek wearing a shirt like this. It must be good.
Yeah.
Even in a city like San Francisco, he's gonna turn a few heads in that getup, I think.
You can tell by the way I use my wand. It comes out in slow motion.
You would shirtless.
So,
I don't
possibly.
know. The clashing colors might draw more eyes than me being shirtless.
Probably, actually. So see, as Shadow steps out, C kind of looks at it. I find it highly amusing, but we'll probably want a couple more with more muted colors, so we'll save that one too. But
like we're doing it's doing the dressing room shuffle thing. It's like step in, step back out, one outfit, step in, step back out. This outfit with chain, and like Ty runs up and like puts a pair of sunglasses on it.
Zing. Okay.
Eventually,
We totally need some montage music here.
eventually settles on the exact same outfit he was wearing when he came in, but clean.
So yeah, C will hold a couple of those outfits just to give him a little bit of variety, and then look over at Tig.
Wait,
You need anything?
I reach out and grab a pair of sunglasses and put them on.
You don't know who Jason Momoa is, but the look fits.
Is Ty getting stuff for, since he tends to walk around in Glabro a lot and
Oh yeah, no, Tig's got several outfits already. All of them are various variations on blacks, grays, some deep blues and greens.
the cool thing is whatever outfit he has dedicated to him will change size.
Yeah, that's why
But it's good to have some options if he's going to be stuck in Glabro, for a long time.
Yeah. Mostly cross trainers for footwear and absolutely no accessories whatsoever.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll get a couple of outfits for you here, Tig, and then we'll get some more elsewhere because I think you'll probably be able to fit some of the other ones better.
Yeah, and there's a whole row of shops. There's some women's clothing stores too and everything, but there's plenty of options for you
plenty up
guys
there.
to just wander up and down the street and see what you need.
And I like C's spent hardly any money recently that isn't gasoline, so it'll be a little bit of a dent on his 2 dots of resources, but he should be able to get several outfits for both of them.
Yeah. All right. And then let's see. Yeah, and then I guess you'd want to check back in with Thistle and Grudak and
so
see
it's
if
like-
they're ready for a pickup.
Once we're leaving the second store with another bag of clothing for this one, for these ones for Tig, C will just kind of stop and close his eyes and stare into the sky for a second. Thistle, Grudak, status? Are you ready to head out?
I mean,
That's where we cut over to what Thistle's been doing.
I imagine we both kind of need that part to answer that
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. That's a scene transition.
So Thistle will just sort of wander along, find probably either like a drugstore or convenience store, Safeway, something like that. One of those sorts of things. Restocking on Grudak seems to have the like food down, but restocking on like snacks, energy bars, stuff like that.
Road rations.
Yeah, road rations.
So like a Walgreens kind of
charging
situation.
cable and little car thing.
CVS.
Walgreens.
Yeah.
Whatever brand is in your area. I legitimately
where I
don't know
went.
which one it would be, but it's kind of the same store all around.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just sort of tries to find all of that stuff. And we'll stop at like the cheap accessories rack. And pick a few things off of that. Like they have like sunglasses and cheap necklaces that these sort.
Yeah.
Just get all of that, pay for that. And unless anything happens that disrupts it, like I wander around and suddenly there is a spiral dancer killing me or something.
There's probably actually Thistle probably finds herself having a little bit more trouble than usual when shopping, like when Z starts trying to get like provisions, energy bars and stuff. Z finds herself having kind of thoughts like, okay, but I don't know if he would.
Energy 5. Why is this such a hard decision now?
Like, gosh, would Tig like this kind of thing? I don't know, can Shadow even eat this? And then like all of a sudden it's just like suddenly gotten a lot more confusing because it's like he has to provide for
the vegan ones. I don't think so. But he is kind of a person wolf. Yeah.
So I'm guessing that just the one trip to the one store to get like all of these little things takes about the same amount of time as the guy is going to like 2 different stores or 3 different stores.
The extended
try on clothes.
Shopping montage. And just intercut with Thistle taking 5 minutes to pick one item out at the store.
And this is probably something that depending on how self-aware Z is, Z may be conscious of like, this is not like me. I'm usually much more decisive than this. What is going on?
And then, so see, or do we want to do Grudak's thing first before we get to the group?
Grudak is going to report when he gets back.
Okay.
We already discussed this between.
Sure. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't cutting anyone off. So C's like, are you done? And like, there's sort of an instant click. Yes. Yes. Address.
So we pulled up and you see Shadow in his normal outfit plus a Hawaiian shirt, sunglasses, and a gold chain.
Tourist chic.
Thistle will We had the same idea. Good. Okay. Hi guys.
All right. Let's go get Grudek then, shall we?
Silver Glare's talking on the phone by the car. Sounds like she's flirting with somebody, actually, but then she sees you guys coming and makes her excuses, gets off the phone. You ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's go pick up Papa.
All right. I assume she double checks with you guys. He wants to be picked up at the bookstore where I dropped him off, or somewhere else.
Yes.
Hey, Grudek,
unless-
where are we picking you up, lad?
Just where you left me. I'm on the bench, ready when you are.
Okay.
Is it a
So-
nice bench?
It's all right.
Hey,
So she drives back to Borderlands. Probably takes about a half hour. Traffic is starting to get a little
During which time,
much.
Thistle will quiz people on their dietary habit.
What can you eat? Do you have any allergies?
Do you have any allergies? Do you eat meat? Do you eat
I'm
nuts?
allergic to chocolate.
Good to know.
Do not give the dog chocolate.
Okay. We'll separate out the ones that have chocolate in them.
I believe the Hamid phrase is lactose intolerant.
If it's the same reason that most dogs can't have chocolate, it's actually a little bit different, but you're in the right vein.
and we say that knowing that you've got a rather interesting, close personal relationship with Veins. And, ripping them apart and shit. Never mind.
That was a long walk off a very short pier, Tig.
As Silver
I'm
Glare
working with what
drives-
I've got here.
Tiger's in a car, not on a pier.
It's a little after 3 p.m. now, and Silver Glare, as she's driving, mutters something to herself about gridlock beetles. You have no idea what, unless Thistle wants to roll like intelligence and rituals, like difficulty 8 or so, to know what the heck she's mumbling about.
We'll roll it.
Why not?
I imagine as probably something. It's probably a type of ritual that C would have no familiarity with. So
I do rituals also for roles involving any kind of general spiritual Umbra knowledge,
I don't
because
think that's technically a botch, but
What was the
Okay.
difficulty?
that's an actual botch, right?
Yeah, that's a double batch.
That's
Yeah.
a botch.
there were no.
well,
eights.
it would be a private botch because it just involves what Thistle is thinking to herself, and so yeah, she's privately thinking something. Z is thinking something privately that's just horribly, horribly wrong. Probably assuming that it has something to do with the band, the Beatles, or whatever. But
There's
yeah,
a
luckily it's
Volkswagen
not a
that's
public
causing a
botch.
traffic jam
And the
somewhere.
Beatles were all werewolves. They developed an anti-gridlock spell that was lost when the band broke apart.
So this is their inner monologue is something about
I
Wait,
sort of,
no, that doesn't make any sense. I need to stop watching so much late night TV.
I just lean forward. What are gridlock beetles?
Oh, was I talking out loud? Sorry.
Yes.
It's in the penumbra. They're spirits that snarl up the traffic. Yeah, you would recognize one if you saw one. You would probably know exactly what it was. They look like giant beetles, but they're basically cars with insect legs. They're
I don't know that the penumbra would be this amusingly on the nose, but do they look like Volkswagens?
Some of them do. Actually, there's different varieties, and they behave a little differently. Like the sports car ones are real impatient to get where they're going, and the big sedan ones are a little slower and grumpier and tend to hold things up. They can control the flow of traffic. They can make it real fast. They can make it all green lights. They can make it all red lights.
Are they a threat?
No, they're just annoying as hell.
Okay.
And right now they're Having a field day.
But they
So
make it
this-
feel like a long and
it's-
winding road.
It's not even 4 o'clock yet, and it's already looking like, yeah. Anyway, she drives back to Borderlands, finds Gerdek, and finds the best place to. She has to drive around the block like 3 times to find anywhere to stop this minivan of hers where she can pick up
He
Gerdek.
probably sees her pull in and then immediately jumps up. He's sitting on a bench reading a battered used copy of Journey to the Center of the Earth that he picked up in Borderlands. And he has a bag full of old or a bag full of big discount canned goods that he picked up while he was waiting. And he probably immediately jumps up and then just is jogging after her the whole way as she's circling the block.
All right, so she gets everybody back in the car. Well, I'd better get started driving you back to the Sept if that's where you want to go. It's going to be a bit of a drive with this traffic. Sorry.
Well, if we want to try and dodge traffic and you don't have anything else important on your hands, we could do a bit of re-investigation at the hotel.
All right, I can drop you off there. Do you
And
want me to
glances
come-
around at everybody else like, if
Should
that's
we-
okay.
Should we not acquire that as an assignment first, so as not to raise suspicion?
Well, I can give you that assignment. I'm the worm foe. If that's what you want to do, I can say I sent you.
And
don't know.
were you aware that the building was owned by Pentex?
Well, yes.
What
Yes
is,
and no, but short answer, yes.
what is
he-
Pintex?
It's a corporation owned essentially by the worm. And Grudek stops himself and says, "Corporation is like Sept for humans, but focused not on protecting or worshiping Gaia, but on making money, making
It's an
profit."
easier way to organize when people are working together.
And they're all about making money. And in this case, Pentex is also not just about making a profit. The profit is the means by which they corrupt things.
So definitely a link to the worm there. Also, I didn't find out about any other specific sightings of black spiral dancers in the city, but I did find out there have been a rash of disappeared sewer workers.
Sewer workers.
While they were underground. So my good friend is looking into finding out specific locations. We'll be happy to put it together and get it to us next time we're in city. But for the moment, we do know that there have been disappearances down below. And he'll turn and look at C and Thistle and say, "You all are from here. I get the impression that maybe not the first time people have gone missing below the city, but this is certainly more than would be expected. So combine that with the fact that we know they're black spiral dancers. Maybe entrance to their pit is in the sewers."
Would certainly not be a bad place to.
We'll have to keep that one in mind, but right now let's act on the immediate information relevant to the most recent problem. So we'll start with the hotel, and if we don't find anything there, we may have to figure out how we would check the sewers.
Well, I don't think there's a rush for sewers right now. We don't want to go in and just wander around blind. Who knows what sort of things are down there. But maybe once we get that specific location, we can come back and look at that. But I agree. See, we should look and find out maybe what more can be found from the building. And he looks at Silverglare and says, "I'm not really sure how traffic is here, but am I right in thinking that taking a little time to do that probably will not make a tremendous amount of difference in when we get back to the Sept?"
It would be easier to get back to the Sept at night once the traffic's calmed down a little bit. But yeah, do you want me to come with you on your scouting mission, or do you want to try to handle that on your own? I'm a little worried about sending you by yourselves, but you've already been there once on your rite of passage without anyone else, so you know the territory, and I'd also like to watch the car if we're going to be going into that part of town. So
if you'd like to stay and watch the car, I think we might be able to handle ourselves. It wasn't too difficult last time.
I'll try to
now
park
we
as
know
close as I can, and I'll just stay with the car, and you should be able to get back to me easily. I did want to say, regarding the black spirals possibly being underground, they often do have underground lairs or hangouts. There wouldn't be a pit per se. We would know if there was an organized. A pit is the black spiral version of a cairn, for those of you who don't know. But they wouldn't have an actual pit here. The closest one that we know of is that one in Death Valley. But they could very well be hanging around here, and most of them. I don't know how many black spirals you've seen aside from potentially the one. But most of them, even in Hamid form, are pretty noticeably deformed and disturbing, so they don't like to be seen all that much. Most of them are metis. That's why there's so many of them, because they just breed like rabbits. They don't have any compunctions about that. The one you saw, from the way you describe it, sounds like it was a Hamid. A Hamid black spiral, which is slightly rarer, but that may be why he was the one on the surface and the others were hiding somewhere underground.
And
Maybe we tried the basement.
Speaking of investigation, then, and knowing the territory, are we going to want to be doing most of our nosing about on this side or the other?
I think the Umbra here, well, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's more difficult to get into the Umbra in this region.
Yes, if you've been trying mostly to step sideways while you're at the cairn, you'll find it a very different experience here.
Also, given the taint of the worm, I would be hesitant about entering while we were in the building.
There will be banes, there will be nasty creatures on the other side, and plus it'll be difficult just to get there. The gauntlet here is very thick.
Yeah, of course I'm fine with whatever we pick, but this would be a risky place to do it.
Yeah, I think we'll stay in the normal space for now. The Umbra would likely be even more dangerous here than it would be anywhere else in the city.
I agree. If you've found worm taint. All right, I'll just wait with the car, and please, don't take any longer than you have to, because I'm going to worry. It's the mother and me. I'll be here wringing my hands the whole time, so do be careful and hurry back, all right?
Grudek nods and says, I know how that feels. Oh, do you have each other's numbers? See, Thistle, you all have phones, right?
Thistle, let me give you my number so you can text me if you have any problems. And she sends Thistle a text message so that Z has her number.
Let's try and avoid open conflict if possible. I know I for one, I don't have my blade on me.
Yeah, you kind of stand out a bit when you carry that big long fucker around.
That woman doesn't actually try and blow her brains out this time. Sneak. I get that her kid's a black girl dancer, but I still don't want a little baby getting their mom blowing their brains out.
That's a very valid concern. I think we'll be trying to keep ourselves to a bit more of a distance at this rate.
And stealthy, hopefully.
Well, you are talking to me. And Tig just dips out of the car and starts sneaking over towards the building. He's looking actually for a back entrance, if possible, or a fire escape.
I'm gonna wait until others are out of the car and sort of take up the rear guard.
Yep.
Okay. I'm finding my GM annotated version of this building here. The regular floor plan is still in you guys' handouts.
Yes.
If you wanted to remind yourself of how the building's laid out.
And on the approach, while falling behind everyone else, I just want to like sort of cast my eye about, looking for anything that might be like a discarded piece of rebar or a chunk of concrete that fell off something that has some heft to it.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of close to the building. There's lots of areas where just chunks of the bricks and stuff have fallen out
If
of
I
the
could-
corners of the building.
Yeah, if I could
So-
if I could get like a piece of rebar that has like still like has a brick stuck to it, that'd be great.
Okay.
Just reach over and just pull it out and carry it.
Yeah,
with me.
that's totally doable at the state of this building's disrepair. Are you guys? What did you all bring with you, if anything?
I've got my journal.
My bag.
About it.
Which has let me get my full list of stuff up. Fine.
Did you put like any of your new acquisitions in there, like that you got at the store, or is it all just the usual stuff?
Well, probably some of the food. So sturdy sort of burlap bag with food, basic supplies, extra clothes, including some that are just like oversized shirts for the tall people.
Okay.
This one's not short, but others.
Okay.
Extra bus passes, first aid kit, survival kit. But it's like a bag that doesn't look too fancy or like there's anything expensive in it.
Yeah, just a big old plain-looking backpack. Okay. Anybody else bring anything of note with you when you go into the building?
Not particularly.
My clothes and a rebar club.
Okay.
Yeah, Gridek just has his normal outfit on. Some bric-a-brac in the pockets, but nothing notable.
Okay. Are you guys going to head and do basically the same path that you did before? Or let's see, Tig said he was looking for another entrance, right?
Yeah, either a secondary entrance or an exterior fire escape.
There are fire escapes on the outside of it. There should be a photograph of the exterior of the building, I think, also in your thing there.
Yes,
unless-
Mills Hotel.
Mhm.
Ambiance.
Yeah, it's in the ambiance part. But yeah. See, so there's fire escapes, but you'd have to do some pretty, creative leaping. But there's in this version of the building, there's actually a bit of an alley between, just like a very small alley between it and one of the buildings on the other side of it. So there's a way to go around, but there doesn't seem to be a valid entrance in the back. There is another door, but it's like boarded up and, looks very sketchy. So really the only way in is off the street there.
Okay.
Grudek will say, do you think it's worth perhaps asking for alternate directions from some of the locals? And he points towards the alley.
Well, I feel like if we're going to get inside, it'd be helpful to do it without maybe being in plain sight of everybody.
Grudek nods and will head off into the alley looking for a big trash cans, or even better, a big dumpster.
Okay. There in the alley, there is a dumpster toward the back.
He will walk up to it, and I'm going to use bee speech to speak to any rats that are inside.
Okay.
And he just sort of walks up and casually leans on the wall by the dumpster, and he says, "Hello in there. Any of you all know of any good way in or out of this this big water next to us?
So to the rest of you guys, it sounds like Grudek has suddenly started squeaking.
We've seen him do this.
He's not
And-
yelling at pigeons this time.
Yeah.
a little rat clambers up to the edge of the dumpster. Do you need to do a roll to see if you communicate, or is it just
I
automatic?
think if it's like spirit speech, it's just you can talk to blank.
Yeah. I think it's just on.
Okay.
You are
So-
Dr. Doolittle.
So this sort of mangy-looking, disturbingly large rat scrambles up to the edge of the dumpster and stares at Grudek for a minute, looking very confused, as though it heard someone talking, but it's just seeing Grudek and is now looking around to see where the rat was that was speaking.
Grudek will reach into his pocket and pull out probably half of that protein bar from earlier, and just kind of hold it up, not out towards the rat yet, but just holding it up so the rat can see it and smell it a little bit, and says, "Hello, I'm a friend of Mother Rat. I'm going to put this over here, okay?" And he'll reach out to the farthest edge of the dumpster from the rat and just put the remainder of the energy bar there.
What's this? What's this? What's this? It runs over and starts sniffing at the thing. Ooh, what's this? This is new. This is new. What's this? Oh. And it starts nibbling at it and sort of ignores Grudek for the moment. It's really into this.
Grudek turns around and will say very quietly, "You'll have more energy bars, all right?"
Tig is kind of on the other side of the alley, eyeballing this fire escape, and is going to see if he can jump up high enough to grab one and climb up.
Okay, how far would you say that distance is?
I'd say it's
photograph there.
looking at the photograph from.
Looks like a 10 or 11 foot jump, assuming the guy's about 5 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And let's see.
me look at
You're still in Glabro, right?
I'm still in Glabro.
Jack, will you do me a favor and look up the
Rules for jumping?
Yep.
Yeah.
While
You
I
go
do
talk
the
to
rat
Grudek, and yeah, I will.
So
check that.
while two more rats
Yes,
crawl
they're
up out
on.
of the dumpster.
Says,
Two more rats crawl and they find a corner of the energy bar and they start nibbling on it too.
Grudek says, "Happy, obviously all of Mother Rat's children should share, and we're happy to share more, but do you think you could help my friends and I find our way into this warren?" And he points again to the building, to the Mills Hotel.
All three rats look at him at the exact same time and they simultaneously say, "Why?"
Because we have to get in and find out what's in there. I'm sure you understand. There could be something very good.
You don't belong there. That's not your home. That's our home.
Grudek nods and he says, "Of course, we would not stay long, but I'm sure there are other things there that also do not belong, yes?"
They sort of mutter amongst themselves for a minute, and then one of them says, "I'll show you how to get in. It's very easy. I'll show you." And he skitters down the dumpster, disappears in a hole in the wall that's like this big around.
All right. So if I get a running start, it's going to be strength and athletics. And since I'm going vertical and in Glabro form, each success is going to give me 3 feet plus however tall I am.
Okay.
While we're doing rules learning, what happens if I run out of rage?
If you run out of rage and willpower, you can't shift. But if you just run out of rage, then you don't have any rage to spend for rage things.
Okay.
But
So
other
it's
than that,
not like you fall unconscious if you run out of rage or anything.
no. The only bad thing happens is if you run out of willpower too, then you can't change. You can't do any werewolf things.
Yeah, the
So-
only thing you can do is shift back to breed form.
Yeah.
So Cecil will to Tig. I can come with if you want some company.
having a decent scrambler would be a great thing.
Tig.
Wow. Oh, and it said difficulty 3 unless there's hazardous conditions. Are there hazardous conditions here, or is it pretty...
That not that would affect your ability to jump.
Okay.
The
Suddenly iced over.
Yeah, the fire escape is a little bit ricketier than one might hope, but that doesn't affect your ability to get up there. It just might make you a little nervous about hanging out there too long.
Okay, yeah, so I back up about 15 feet, boom, 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 jump, kick off the wall, and I clear about 12 feet plus my full extension, so...
Nice.
I feel like that's enough to get up on the fire escape.
Like in the middle of addressing Tig as he...
This will just
You were going to give me a boost, weren't you, man?
spend that point of rage and walk right up next to Tig.
Just-
Ching, 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 ching,
I
ching.
was
City
also
running.
going to point out that Thistle can walk up the wall.
Yeah, luckily Thistle doesn't even have to use the rickety fire escapes. He can just, climb straight up the wall like it's nothing.
I probably will sort of do some of that for show just in case.
Right.
Just in case there's someone who happens to walk by or
For
be
veil
watching.
reasons. Very
Someone
wise.
who's really athletic just climbing up where there's a fire escape, especially in a neighborhood like this, probably not going to break the veil. Someone climbing up the side of the wall might be a little more suspicious.
Yeah.
Is there like a catch or release to drop that last ladder to give the rest of the gang a run up?
I don't know how fire escapes work. So this is
Typically,
one of those
the
real world knowledge things I do not have.
Becomes a full ladder.
Yeah, usually there's an extendable ladder on the bottom level that you can drop down to more or less street level that they
All right.
then raise so that people don't do what we just did.
All right, then let's do it, but let's have people roll dexterity and athletics, difficulty 6 to get up it.
Because this is not a safe ladder, is what we're
Yeah,
saying.
it's missing some bits.
I was just going to boost the other two up. So they can sort of
Well, the
skip
ladder's
the
already
ladder.
down. Ladder's there if you need it.
I will stand at the bottom of the ladder and catch anybody who falls off the ladder if they don't want me to boost them.
Okay.
Dexterity athletics, you said difficulty 6. You said difficulty 6 for dexterity athletics to climb?
Yeah, difficulty 6. It is a
Okay.
ladder, but it's just not
Yeah, it's missing
a
pieces.
great ladder.
Yeah. Liable to fall over on me. Which is going to be fun because I have no athletics.
Well, at least you get to make the roll since it's not a knowledge's roll.
Uh-huh.
I really want to see what knowledge's role it would be to figure out how to climb a ladder.
Architecture.
All right, time to roll ladder failing. Hey, I succeeded one.
All right. Ladder failing. Okay. So, yeah, it's not, you don't actually make it look very good, but you get up there.
Rudek?
Yeah, before Grudek comes over, he's going to look at the remaining two rats and say, enjoy the rest of snack, but one more question. Do you all know of anywhere under that building where someone big and clumsy like me could get into the big underground tunnels?
Their eyes get really big when he talks about underground tunnels, and they say, don't go underground. Don't go underground. Nope, nope, nope. Nobody goes underground. Not safe. Don't go underground.
Are there predators down there?
Yep. Everybody
Big-
who goes down disappears. Don't go down. Don't go underground.
Big, and he'll sort of point over his shoulder towards Shadow and say, big and hairy like him?
Everyone who goes down there disappears. They could be big, they could be small. Everyone who has seen them is dead.
Okay. Thank you. We'll be careful.
He's very rat-phatic about that.
And Griddick will give them each a little bow, and then go through his pockets and see if he has any other little bits of food and sort of toss those on the ground, and then turn around and jog back over to where Shadow is and sort of look from Shadow, look up to the fire escape, look back at Shadow and says, could you give me a hand, Shadow? My back, not so good.
I will sort of crouch down and put like Grudek on my shoulder and then just stand up. And being 7 foot tall, that should be enough for him to just reach out and grab the thing.
Okay. Do I still need to roll, Michelle?
No.
Okay.
But I want all of you to make a dexterity and stealth roll, difficulty 6.
Cool.
So that's the same.
We're not trying to be super duper stealthy, obviously, but I need to check a certain thing, and I'm going to use this roll to check that.
That same
that didn't
2-die
take.
roll that I made earlier.
You can say no. Is my difficulty any lower for the fact that I don't actually have to use any of the clanky railings?
Yeah, actually, you don't need to roll at all because you're not making any sound. You're just gliding up the wall like a little spider.
Mine rolled the wrong pools. So
Hey, I got one.
You're getting
All right,
annoyed
there we go.
at Hawkins for being cool.
Yeah.
Thing. I have the best gift.
Yep. 2 successes for me.
Dexterity stealth, you said?
Spider wolf.
Yeah,
Difficulty 6?
One for Grudek.
one for me.
Okay, so everybody succeeded. Good. Okay, you did not
6 for
attract
me.
the attention
Damn, son.
of. You do not attract the attention of any law enforcement types or anything. So good. Continue climbing.
That would be
So-
interesting for your split cops.
So do I need to make a roll to climb up, or can I just actually reach the fire, like reach the actual platform and pull myself up?
Um,
I feel like it is easier to use a rickety ladder than full pull yourself with your
Just
arm.
muscle
yeah,
up.
either way, you have enough options that
Okay.
you should be able to get up there without any difficulty. And and your stealth roll tells me that you get up there okay. Now, let's see. You are. Let's see. The street is that direction. You are around on the north side of the building. So, like if you went around to the left, that's where the alley is. And that also happens to be. Let's see. Sorry, I've got my picture all turned around here. The south side, north, east, west. Okay, yeah. So you go around to the left side, and that doesn't happen to be the same side of the building where Ethan's apartment is. But
Okay.
there are windows and stuff, and there are enough ones that are broken or open that you can pretty much take your pick from the fire escape and climb in through a window if you wish.
I'm gonna let Ty sort of lead to where we're going. Also, because I don't have to focus on climbing quite as much, can I do like a perception to just see if I hear a loud party? Anything inside the building I might pick up on, like
Yeah, do perception and alertness, difficulty 6.
Can Tag do that as well?
Sure.
As he's trying to pick windows?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know there's a brick wall, but it's probably not a very sturdy brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
And you said difficulty 6 on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 successes.
4 successes.
Okay. Thistle, you can hear coming from one window that's completely open that would be very easy to climb in. You hear someone muttering to herself, a female voice just muttering incoherently. There are 2 other windows that are potential entry points. There is one that is actually on the 5th floor, which is where you want to end up, but it is just broken and extremely cracked. It looks like you could pretty easily just push the rest of the glass into the room, and Tig can tell that there's no sound coming from in that room at all. It's dead silent, the broken window. And then there's another window that is open, enough for you to get in, but it's on the 3rd floor that you could get to from the fire escape. And so then you'd have to make your way up to the 5th floor from there.
Tig would be pointing towards the broken one if Thistle looks like Z's asking for his opinion.
Yep. Okay.
Is that one also accessible from the fire escape or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are the 3 windows that you could conceivably get into from the fire escape.
Okay.
Almost,
Yep.
there are very few windows that are
Actually,
intact, so,
right. Yeah.
But these
Tig
are
will
the
just
best
scamper up.
options
Tig will
for-
just scamper up to that broken one, and he's actually going to test it to see if it'll slide open at all.
No, it's pretty much completely defunct. In fact, it looks as though someone was trying to break it, possibly to get out, because it wouldn't open. But
That's-
whoever it is did not apparently.
So it's not
succeed.
just that it's locked or anything. Okay.
Yeah, it's jammed or stuck in the frame or something. But you can tell that because of the way the
Make like a larceny roll or something to get it open.
let's see, if you're going to try to force it open, that would probably just be straight strength. But if you're going to try to break it in such a way as to get in, that would probably be dexterity, larceny.
Okay. Tig, you wanna or
He'll give it a shot. Yep. Dexterity, larceny, which difficulty?
Difficulty 6.
Okay. Well, it didn't change the label, but that was supposed to say B and E, but 4 successes.
Okay, so you, with some finesse and precision, managed to clean up that broken hole, make it larger, and also you managed to take away most of the jagged edges of it so that it's somewhat safe to squeeze your body in with only, like minor scrapes. So you managed to clean
wrap
up
up the hand in the sleeve thing and
Yep,
start
and
poking at
just-
shit. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Since it's already broken, you can find the weak points in the glass and just basically empty out the frame methodically and fairly quickly.
And we are feet first in.
And who's in first?
Tag.
And Tig, your feet land in something kind of, it's not solid ground. You land on something it trips you up a little bit.
Okay.
And when you look down in the very, very dim light, you see a dead body on the floor.
Oh, that escalated quickly.
this
Yep.
was going to sort of poke head in just to check if Tig's out of the way. That's why we looked before.
We've got ourselves someone who's a bit past his expiration date.
It's been there long enough that it doesn't smell any worse than the building does in general. As you recall, this building just reeks in general.
Mhm.
There's some little rodents and critters also in the room that scatter when you enter. The body is mostly bones at this point. It looks like it has been there for quite a while, but the way it is positioned, it looks like it might have been the guy that was trying to get out the window because its arms are stretched out toward the wall. And its clothes are still more or less intact. It's just wearing some like grubby t-shirt and jeans, but inside it's mostly bones. It's been just gnawed by heaven only knows what.
This will sort of being still outside, hold out a hand to not have everyone come up just immediately.
So Thistle and Tig have eyes on this. Does anyone else at this point, or are they the first two up?
Yeah, I think the rest of us are still a little bit back.
Okay, so you get Thistle's signal saying, hold up a sec,
I
basically.
just don't want to cause a traffic backup on top of the dead body.
Yeah. So what do you do next?
Ty goes through his pockets.
Nothing in him.
No?
This poor
Okay.
soul has nothing but the clothes on his skeletal back.
I know he's mostly decomposed, but can I do anything for method of death? Does it look like there's some fractures? Does it look like...
Roll perception and medicine difficulty 8.
Oh,
And-
perception is okay. Yes, I found that.
Tag's gonna sort of scan the rest of the room and see if there's anything else notable.
Can we come in? I'm worried someone's going to come and see us all hanging out on the fire escape.
Have a second, lad. There's a dead fucking body in here.
There's a pause, and Griddick says, "There's the sort of information you might share a little sooner."
Aye, we should have led with that. I understand. Come on.
It was
Just
gonna-
watch your feet coming through.
Okay.
4 successes
Oh,
on
okay.
the...
So
Um,
Thistle
oh,
actually...
Wait.
This-
Oh man, I just realized we went up the ladder in auspice order. We went Ragabosh, Theers, Philodox, Galliard, Arun.
Some instinctive, alignment here. Yeah, so Thistle, actually, you do, as you're looking at these pathetic bones, you actually notice signs of blunt trauma to the head. That the back of the head, this person was killed
Smashed his
by,
head.
yeah.
Could be violence. Could be... I mean... Werewolves smashing people's heads in looks like people smashing people's heads in.
It's a rather keen insight. I'll have to keep that one in mind.
Though you also notice that the clothes are intact, so there's no signs of clawing or any kind of like tearing of the clothes. Clothes are
But
completely
I'm not
intact.
If this kid had gone into Krynos form and smacked him in the back of the head with a...
Yeah, it could have
I
been.
wouldn't necessarily be able to tell.
Yeah, it could have been anybody with any sort of blunt instrument,
object,
basically. Yeah.
Do I see something that sort of matches the wound in the room, or probably has been taken out?
Nope. The room otherwise just looks like a trash heap.
Okay.
There's feces and animal nests, and just like the building in general is just like all gone to decay.
Yeah, if Tag can't find anything just kind of casing the room and the immediate environs of the apartment, he'll head to the door that goes out in the hall and just see if it's open.
Okay, so
Everyone else
yeah.
slowly files in.
As in Ethan's apartment, the door is across from the window.
Mm-hmm.
And so you find yourself out in the hallway, and you can kind of recognize, you see that one lone bulb, remember, that was lighting the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, you can basically remember, if you go around that corner and follow the hallway to the extreme southern end, that's where the apartment was.
Okay. He will duck out in the hallway and take a few steps down away from the cadaver apartment, and then just wait for everybody else.
Okay.
And just trying to keep as aware of his surroundings as possible.
Thistle will very quietly communicate those findings to the rest of the group.
Mentally or out loud?
It's probably slightly easy for Zer to do it mentally, so
Yeah.
still experimenting with this sort of bond thing, just the general impressions, it's head trauma. Head trauma could have been a werewolf with a plank, or it could have been a human with a plank. Or apparently vampires are real. It could have been a vampire with a plank. That was...
Don't get me started about fucking leeches.
Alas, there's not
Like-
enough flesh left to check for bite marks or anything. No flesh.
Yeah, Griddick say,
It was
great,
halfway
but I did their
But
worst.
there's also a slight disappointment at that.
Are the rest of us inside now? Did
Yeah.
C go in?
So
Yeah. As C gets inside, he kind of like kneels for a second at the body and just kind of mutters quietly under his breath, "I'm sorry, friend. Gaia sent you to your rest."
Oh,
As soon as Grudek gets in the room, he's going to do sense worm
okay.
just to see if there's anything more than the general background scent.
Yeah, the difficulty, I can't remember what I said it was last time, but it would be the same.
It's 5 if you're in the same room or right on the other side of a door of something, and it just goes up from there. I think it was 6 or 7 for the building in general.
7. It'll be a difficulty 7, I think.
As I get in the room, are there any large pieces of debris or furniture left in this room?
No, there's no furniture at all, other than the appliances, which are, all crusted over, but they're set into the wall and everything. The sink, the stove.
No, like wardrobes or anything?
No.
Okay.
They're actually, you can tell where there used to be a refrigerator, but someone has managed to remove the refrigerator somehow.
Okay.
But you can clearly see where it used to be. Everything else is gone, just stripped bare.
Okay.
And covered in poop. And slime. And mold.
Yep.
So,
Kind of like my bathroom.
Or
Pigeon poop, rat poop, maybe like possum or raccoon poop, just like any kind of animals that you would find in a city have been through here at some point.
Okay.
And even the little tiny insect poops.
Little insect poops.
Yeah, but everything's fine that.
Yeah.
And Grudek, you just get the same general sense of, this place is wormish, but there's not any specific, you don't sense any specific worm creatures or anything, just like a general malaise hanging over the place.
Okay.
Would you
Fair
like
enough.
me to see if I can find their scent again? I say to the group.
I suspect that tracking their scent might just lead us straight to their apartment again. After all, they seem to have been there for a while.
Old scent and living scent are different.
True. See if they're still here, I suppose.
I will shift into my breed form, into Lupus.
Okay.
Which I don't think requires a roll.
Nope.
And I am going to sniff about, trying to see if I can catch their scent again, heading back in that direction.
Perception, primal urge, difficulty 7, just because of all the other extremely strong.
My does my beast form's -2 perception to difficulty, -2 to perception difficulty apply here?
Yeah.
So that would make it diff 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And I do have keen smell as a specialization.
Okay.
10s count as 2.
Sniffing, keen smell, perception, primal urge, diff 5. Blam! 4 successes.
Okay. You can still smell traces of Ethan and his mom, but they do not appear to actually be here at the moment. However, the small girl is still in the apartment by herself.
Is there anything else in the apartment other than her?
You can smell. There's some other people on the same floor, but not in that direction. There's one, like if you're standing, if you guys are kind of like at that corner there, by the elevator, you can smell people right at that corner.
None of
Men?
them smell like Ethan or his mom, though.
Right. Just strangers that you don't know. And the only scent you recognize of anybody who is alive and present is the little girl in the apartment.
So through the mental bond, because I can still talk that way, I will just relay. The mother and Ethan are gone. The sister is still in the apartment.
Left her home by themselves, did they?
Grudek
Mother
sends,
of the year.
Yeah, Grudek sends back and says, I know it's not our our chief concern at this point, but she is likely kinfolk, even though Spiral. We should get her away from the others. It's unlikely she bred true, but
that would be unwise. If we are
we
seeking
probably should-
information, then
Not
then letting them know we're here by removing one of their own would be unwise.
Also, that's still, kinfolk or not, that still amounts to kidnapping a small child away from her parents.
Grudek sort of turns
At this
slowly.
point, we should probably be calling DCYA.
Yeah, Grudek turns slowly and looks at C and says, I didn't mean we should take her out, but presumably there is some form of child protective services in this city.
What? The acronym is different in every state. What is California's
CPS.
CPS? Okay.
this is a question I should probably know the answer to, but
It's not CPS. It's a. Don't ask me why I know this. It's a DCFS, Department of Children and
Oh,
Oh,
Families.
defects,
Right.
yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
Just to be clear, Grudek's plan was not to grab a small child.
Grudek is not the child catcher.
That's okay. Shadow doesn't know there is an organization for protective services of children.
No, that's right. But I just think it's funny that it was C
Shadow
that
was like,
suggested
okay,
it.
yank.
I mean,
I had to say
I'm
that.
not exactly
Shadow
sure
was just
how
like,
we'd go about it, and so this is in the second one. I'm not sure how we'd go about it, and if Pentax is involved, it's possible that doesn't end successfully and or gets unwanted notice on us. But I mean, it's much better than the Xavier method.
Also,
Grudek looks blankly at you.
your backlog of references is incredible, Thistle.
I know. We absolutely are having. Damn it! The Karen doesn't have any. What? The Karen have any TVs?
Because we wouldn't get any signal.
Okay. I have DVDs. I have CDs. I have VHS tapes. I even have a few things on floppy disk. Though, to be quite honest, old floppy disk games are not compatible with very much. We're going to have a movie night, a game night, and possibly an anime night.
We'll deal with that when we're not in the middle of a worm-tainted building, though. So
I'm
Fine.
not
Crisis
certain
priority.
what a movie night is, but if we alert somebody, I'm not certain, but to this child's predicament, if the worm know that we were here, then they would know who alerted the authorities, and that may result in unnecessary damage to the city.
not to mention, it might not even get anywhere if this is a Pentax building, as Grudek said. Was it DCFS for California?
DFCS. Mm.
Yeah, DFCS.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Same as
Okay.
Georgia. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. the DFAX might not even be able to accomplish anything here.
Grudek looks pretty obviously unhappy, but just sort of steps
They
back and
both
mutely
looked like they were
nods.
eating. They both didn't look dead. De facto is gonna go great. Seems like these are really well cared for kids.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's not a lot. I'm not happy about it either, Grudek, but I don't think there's a lot we can do here other than solve the Black Spiral problem and hope that that helps her by proxy.
Well, should we check the basement, see if there's any sort of sewer entrance? Hmm.
Yes, we should try and check the lower floors.
I will see if I can pick up their scent further down.
Shadow, we're moving through a potentially occupied building. You might not want to stay in that form going down the stairs.
See if I can shift.
I'm sure you can. It might just take a rage or a
I've
few
only
turns.
got one left because it hasn't been a new moon yet. Diff 6. Do. Da-da-da-da-da.
You made it.
Hey, 5
Heyo.
successes.
You've still got that. You've still got. Wait. Oh, wait. I think you've still got that weird thing happening.
No, that was 9.
That was 9? Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, that's 9.
I can't count.
It's okay. My character sheet's been being weird for the past 3 weeks.
Not that I wanted to shit on your success anyway, so. Well done, sir.
I just happen to roll a lot of dice.
Yes, you do.
So yeah, I'll come back around and pick up the rebar club that I had put down when I shifted. Very well. Let us go.
Also, maybe don't brandish that around like it's a weapon. Maybe use it more like a walking stick, because that's also threatening.
The most subtle of walking aids.
An actual club.
Tag's going to start sneaking down the stairs.
Okay.
No, please don't tell me you haven't seen like people walking around cities, especially teenagers, with just sticks of metal that they've got.
Yeah,
Oh, definitely.
kids.
That's fair.
I've seen
See,
kids doing it.
I believe I look threatening even without it. I don't know that using it as a walking stick will prevent that.
You
So
do still look threatening, but there's a difference between threatening and actively aggressive.
So the
what-
stairwell does go down all the way to a basement level, but as you know, it's an enclosed stairway with doors leading out onto each floor, and the door leading to the basement, there's actually a rusty chain wrapped around so that the door won't open, and there's a padlock on the chain. It's a combination lock.
Hell yes. I finally get to try this. Tag's going to try open seal.
Okay. Remind me how that works.
What is the difficulty, or what is the rating of the gauntlet in this area? Because basically that's my difficulty.
8.
8. Okay. And let me pull up that gift just to be sure. Open seal. I roll Gnosis, difficulty of the local gauntlet rating. And I assume this is just a mechanical lock. It's not also a magically reinforced lock.
It appears to be just a regular old combination lock.
Okay. All right, then. In that case, let me see. All right. I'm just going to do a quick roll. 3 dice. Difficulty 8. I got 1 success, so it pops open.
Okay, so
Dink.
all right, so the numbers all line up. 7623 doesn't mean anything to you, but that's they all just sort of rotate automatically to 7623, and it pops open.
Tig just gets this shit-eating grin on his face, because this is honestly the first time he's used this and had it work this easily. And he just pockets the padlock, pulls the chain out, and then kind of thinking about it. About how long is this length of chain?
It's about long enough that he could wear it like a sash around his waist if he wanted to, but it
He's
wouldn't
actually
strike the
just going to
ground.
wrap it around his knuckles and his forearm and use the lock to sort of make it a full loop there.
Okay.
So, yeah, in jerry-rigged brass knuckles, basically, or something that makes his arm heavier.
I'm trying to think, like, what would happen if he shifted into Krynos form with a chain wrapped around his arm? That would be like...
Well, it's a rusty chain, so it might just like pop like a bunch of
Yeah,
different things.
probably the weakest link, you know.
Right, yeah. Gets a little scar across his cheek from metal shrapnel. And he'll pull the door open. Has anybody got a flashlight?
You know, I don't think I actually do.
Pulls out a phone,
Oh yeah, I have phones. Duh.
clicks on the flashlight, which I won't do to blind all of you guys.
Thank you.
For for narrative suspense purposes, would this be a good time to take a brief break?
It
And
would indeed.
full disclosure, I'm asking because I have a dog who is desperate to go outside.
Okay, yeah, this would be a good place to take a break. Back in
Okay.
15?
Thanks.
All right.
And we're back.
Okay, so you are looking at a door which is no longer chained shut and leads to the basement of this Pentex-owned building. You are in almost complete darkness. Tig now has in his possession a chain and a combination lock, so he can add that to his inventory. He has the chain wrapped around his forearm, and you're all at the very, very bottom of a long, creepy, dark stairwell.
I think Grudek will pipe up and say, before we go straight forward into dark hallway, should point out the rats outside say that all the rats who come down here never come back.
Oh,
Did they say there's something dangerous down here?
Oh, aye, sounds like there's a badger.
You know, I asked that very question, Shadow, and the rat very emphatically said they don't know because they never come back. So, yes, I would assume something very dangerous, but they could not describe what it was.
I will move up towards the door.
can I? Sorry, as that's happening, can I like try and listen, see if I hear like a badger would be one thing I might hear.
That's doing the exact same thing, so.
Yeah.
So perception and alertness for Thistle, perception and primal urge for Shadow.
So
Or not.
Even though you're in Hamid form, Shadow, it's still primal urge for you. Difficulty 6.
So while they're both sensing, C just kind of shuts his eyes and holds his journal in his left hand as he's just trying to think and run through different plans in his head, as he's trying to figure out if this is an area going deep where there are potentially black spirals waiting and they outnumber us, they will kill us, and what are our odds of retreat? He's just kind of like running the Sherlock Holmes, the threat analysis in his head right now.
Okay.
1 success for me, 3 for Shadow.
I would like to sense worm again.
Okay. So do that roll.
7 again.
6 now.
Okay.
That's
We're
not
getting closer.
ominous.
Warmer.
You mean wormer?
Wormer and wormer. You're getting wormer.
3.
Bad pun.
Okay. Griddock, there are things not in the basement, but like because the door opens into the basement, right? So like it's not like right behind the door there's things, but there are, you can just like the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end when you sort of try to listen and hear like what's underneath the basement. And neither Thistle nor Shadow hears anything, which is a little bit weird actually. Like you would think this is a building that is infested by animals. There's pigeons and rats and all these things, but the basement is silent as a tomb.
Just a low growl starts emanating from Shadow's throat.
I think Gridek actually whines a little bit, and maybe kind of he actually retches a little bit, and we'll say it's. You said below us, Michelle.
Mm-hmm, below the basement level.
He'll point down and say, "Below us, it writhes with the worm." Is it fair to say that he's never felt this much intense worm stink?
I'm trying to think back on his background because I don't know what all he's faced, but certainly not recently. Yeah.
He hasn't had a lot of direct exposure. Certainly not a lot of concentrated exposure.
Yeah, there's definitely some agent of the worm like under your feet somewhere.
Okay.
In some amount of number.
Okay.
So Michelle, what's the difficulty for Tag's curiosity flaw? in this situation?
Gosh. Let's see. Difficulty means how hard it is to resist, or how.
Basically, higher difficulty means it's more likely that I'll feel like I need to go at least check it out.
It's a locked box.
Right. Their examples in the book are 5 for something simple, like what's in that storage unit, up to 9 for intense circumstances, like, oh, the Fomori are planning over there. I better go listen in. What could possibly go wrong?
This would be a difficulty 8, especially given what Grudek just said.
I've never felt anything like this before. It's a once in a lifetime experience. We should go.
I have my hand on the doorknob. Is it a doorknob or is it a push door?
It's got like a handle on it that the chain was wrapped through and around. There's been a hole actually punched through or drilled through the wall next to it, and the chain had just been wrapped through the hole in the wall, through the door handle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Holding the handle. Unless Ty is going to say anything.
Nope, not saying anything.
I sort of look at the rest of the group. Can you sense anything more specific, Beck?
Could I, other than just general badness?
There is a group of actively worm-aligned things.
Okay.
Beneath you.
Grudek looks at Shadow and says, "It's not a general stench. It's not one bane or creature. There are many of them. They are moving and they are below us. It could be the dancers, but there are many.
We are not numerous enough to take on a pack at our current strength. However,
Grudek says, no. However, I like the first part.
However, it would be good to get some amount of intelligence, that we might return to the Sept, better able to gauge this threat.
See?
See, what is your opinion?
See opens his eyes for a minute, opens up the journal, pulls the pen off the chain, and writes something down in a couple of the pages. Closes the pen again, closes the journal. We're leaving. If we get too far in, they can close our exit and we'll have no way of getting out. As far as we know, this is the only way out, and if they get behind us to seal this door, we're trapped.
And this will go through the psychic bond just in case. And the one we're going right back to is sorry, Michelle, is the title Worm Hunter?
The Wormfoe.
Wormfoe.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's a weird title.
So it's not like we're exactly being negligent by making sure that this expert knows.
No.
If I tried again on Sense Worm and got more successes, is there mechanically a possibility that I would learn any more about the numbers, or did I glean pretty much everything
that's all you can tell from your wormy sense?
I'll remind you that we don't know where Ethan or his mother are, and if they return behind us to find out that we're down here and they are Black Spiral, they will seal the door and we'll be stuck.
I am in agreement with you, C.
Given that this is a local and background and stuff, can I look around, see if there's any graffiti at all, what groups may have tagged it, that sort of thing?
Interesting.
I really don't know. This is a werewolf tag, but
are you looking just like in the stairwell there to see if there's any?
It's a stairwell. I am in sort of a rusty, entirely filled with poop and trash basement. They chained up this door. They've got a little bit of a flare.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone's gone with either full spray paint or the more stringy line stuff.
It is very, very dark. Do you have any sort of light source with you at all?
I was holding
Phone.
out.
Oh, right, the phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So if you want to like shine your phone light like all around on the walls and do um, first perception and alertness just to see if you see anything at all. And it's going to be a difficulty 6 because you have your
Yeah.
phone light. And you should
Michelle,
be able to...
I sent you something in Roll20. I don't know if you've noticed yet.
Okay, I saw.
And while Thistle's looking around, I just take that.
160.
All right, good.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all right. I take
Okay.
the rebar club, and I put it through the handle. Tie it. If I'm pretty strong, so hopefully I can do this. Tie it around the handle and embed it in the wall, so it's a much firmer
The door
lock
doesn't...
than that chain and padlock was.
So the door doesn't open now unless you can
Yeah.
force the...
Or force it. Yeah.
So you
nice.
have to break the door to get through it now, if I can.
Okay. Okay. I guess, yeah, just
Strength
what would that
athletics.
just be like? Yeah, strength and athletics, difficulty.
For rebar?
I see. I realize I'm doing something else, but if I see Shadow doing this, I'm going to count the pack just out of Thistle's paranoia about us being separated.
Right. Yeah.
Don't
Everybody's
notice
still
someone
there.
missing already through the door.
Your little phone light
Damn
shows
it.
you all the bodies you expect
No,
to see.
I don't want you to get trapped down there by Shadow.
That would have been hilarious, though.
It would have been, except for the part where my character would have had a panic
Would have
attack.
literally, yeah, just melted down.
Just lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just briefly looks around to the group. If I don't count, hey, Grudig's suddenly missing. I've seen horror movies. Go back to looking for gang signs.
Okay. So you do see that there is graffiti on the wall in a few places. Some looks older than others. And now I need you to roll intelligence and I'm going to say rituals because occult is something else entirely, which is weird. So
Case for enigmas, or is that also something else?
enigmas is more like riddles and stuff like that, that kind of
Sure.
lateral thinking.
right.
So rituals I'm going to be using for just general like lore and spirit stuff and guru
Right.
customs and stuff.
Werewolfy specific shit.
Yeah, so customs and lore and rituals and spirity stuff. So yeah, intelligence and rituals to see if you spot anything on the wall that has guru significance. And it's going to be difficulty. You know what? It's going to be difficulty 6, given what we're looking for here.
And difficulty on my bar bending.
That one's tough for me because I'm still trying to wrap my head around this whole strength thing.
Fantasy physics.
Yeah, I'm not sure how fantasy physics works here, but it seems like the kind of stuff you were talking about that you would be able to do, this would be pretty routine for you. So difficulty 6, I guess.
I have to make the roll. I have 8 die. Can I say that's an automatic success?
Yeah.
Okay. Just
So
Yeah, snapping a lead pipe is considered like a dice pool, requires a dice pool of 8 to even attempt. So yeah, you probably would be okay there.
Okay. So so this is picture this horror movie shot here, okay, as the light from the phone is moving along the wall, and then this circle of light moves over to this fairly freshly painted, literally black spiral. That's why it was difficulty 6. Like, that's not that hard to interpret.
I mean, we are talking about a teenager. I'm gonna snap a picture of that. I'm also gonna just anything particularly prominent. I'm just gonna snap pictures of, because if this pack or just the general Black Spiral Dancers of San Francisco have a gang sign, we can compare it to something else later.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
just-
Take pictures of all
Not
the
take
stuff.
pictures, but I will
Okay.
point that one out to the rest of the group.
Yeah, as soon as C sees it, he immediately takes the pen back out, opens the journal back up again, and turns to a different page and starts taking notes down. As someone paying attention notices that he's probably also copying the sketch, like sketching the sign.
We should get back to the worm folk.
Is that just copying down the tribe glyph? Is that anything that could have negative consequences for us?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I'm taking evidence pictures. I don't give a shit about what
No,
As long as you're not painting it on your body or something, you're probably fine.
No, I don't mean in terms of honor hits. I mean in terms of could they track it backwards or anything. I don't know if the
No.
Black Spirals have any weird gifts or anything like that.
No, the tribal symbols themselves do not inherently possess any magical or spiritual qualities. You can imbue them with such, but this just looks like it was done with spray paint. It's not like
Like,
yeah.
technically,
see-
the tribal symbols are like Guru language glyphs, aren't they? Basically.
Yeah,
Does
pretty
he
much.
look like he's imbuing it with anything evil?
No, I mean I am copying it down and saying this is the symbol that we thought that we saw.
I'm gonna sense worm on C.
You find nothing.
Ty, if you could lead us back up.
Personally, I think it'd be better if you did the honors there.
I am the bulwark between the spiral dancers and the rest of you. I will follow behind.
Fair enough.
I would generally say
We're
that
gonna exit on the first floor, or do we want to take the route we took in back out?
I'd rather just go out first floor.
Swiftest is best.
Hi, he's probably right there.
unless of course we immediately walk past Ethan on the way out as he is returning.
In that case, tackle the little fucker.
Maybe not in the middle of the street.
The building is just its usual level of quiet, the occasional really unhealthy sounding cough from like the floor above or whatever. There's, people generally in the building above, but not many. And
Being miserable.
yeah, just being
Us.
miserable. So are you heading to the ground floor to leave, or where are you headed?
Tag will walk everybody up the staircase and then take a turn out into the lobby.
Thistle will sort of mentally, not Child Protective Services, but does anyone have like some sort of contact or something that wouldn't mind reporting a body and not tying it back to us?
Grudek looks around and says, most of my contacts in the city are probably the type that would prefer not to contact law enforcement.
I mean, we don't necessarily have to contact law enforcement if there's like a local gang or something that can clean up the corpse instead.
As, like, what? A public service?
Grudek
American
shrugs-
crime is very different than it is back home.
Look,
Grudek
we
shrugs
are
and says,
okay.
I will pass it along, and see if see what interest I can gather. But I don't think
Probably not.
any.
I don't know.
Maybe an anonymous tip can be left, but that being the case, I'm not sure that we want to send law enforcement into Pentex-owned Black Spiral infested building, and that's assuming that
Bit of a lambs to the slaughter situation, innit?
right. Well, that's assuming that they're not just immediately reporting back to Pentex as it is. I'm assuming law enforcement here in the United States is just as worm-threaded as that back home.
Oh, you're thinking Pentex owns the shades then, like?
Well, some of them. I would be surprised if they didn't have at least a few informants on the force.
Speaking of which, I need to get in touch with the Garda down here at some point.
We should,
Yeah.
nonetheless, we should go
So
back to the...
presumably we eventually leave the building.
Yeah.
And you head back to Silver Glare's
Silver Glare Mail.
soccer mom minivan.
What
Which
the
really
proper
stands out around here?
protocol is for that?
I am keeping a wary eye out the entire way back.
So Stag.
Anything that might be a threat. I don't know what you want me to roll for that, but
Perception alertness, difficulty 6.
okay. Zero successes.
And
You
Tag
don't
can make
notice
that as
anything
well.
unusual. Okay.
3 successes.
And you don't notice anything unusual either. Just the same
Excellent.
usual seedy, creepy stuff in this part of town as usual. You don't spot Ethan. You don't spot any weirdly misshapen people or
Good,
anything like
good,
that.
good.
Just general
Very
urban
swinging on
misery.
street corners, threatening to blow their brains out, that sort of thing.
Nope. Nope. Well, there is actually one crazy woman on the street corner, but she's just threatening to, bring about the end of the world and waving her hands, and everyone's ignoring her.
Does she look like she could be a Black Spiral dancer?
She does not look deformed. She just looks very old and underfed and miserable.
The end is nigh. The end is nigh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
I don't
it
have
is-
to kill an old lady today. Okay.
Does she look indigent? Or sort of out spreading
looks-
the bad word?
She just looks like a, homeless lady with some sort of paranoid delusions or not. The world is about to end, but
Just a mage.
She doesn't-
She's just a mage that's gone really hard times.
she doesn't sound like she has any particular intel about the incoming apocalypse, just, general that we all need to repent because our sins are dooming the world and stuff.
Oh, one of those kind of people that stand outside conventions. Okay, got it.
Grudik will turn around and look at Thistle and C and say, either of you have more snack bars? I'm sorry, what did Z say?
Z'll hand you a few, probably. Do you need the non-chocolate ones, or?
I don't think it will matter. Grudik will actually approach the woman on the corner.
Aw. And she says, I can smell the sin on you. You are bringing about the end of the world with your filth.
It's probably true, but before it comes, maybe you carb up, and he'll hold out the couple bars.
Maybe you carb up.
Don't you try to poison me.
Okay, I just going to leave them here. If you don't want, is okay. Maybe just unwrap 4 rats, and he'll just put them down on the ground and then go back and rejoin the others.
Okay.
Something tells me that in San Francisco, the rats probably do not really give a shit about rappers.
Probably not.
Yeah.
What makes you think it's just in San Francisco?
I'm not
Yeah.
trying to make sweeping statements on the rest of the country.
I had a rat in my house for a while. Let me tell you, they'll eat through anything to get at anything. So
But
fun times.
Grudik likes rats, so he wants to make it as easy as possible.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Silver Glare is just hanging out in her minivan, looking fidgety. She's an Arun. She's not used to just like sitting around waiting for reports.
I know, right?
Hi there, we go back. Nobody died.
We have
Well, did you
vital
find
info.
anything?
It
She's
indeed.
already starting the car and like not even checking to see if y'all are
Tag
buckling
looks
your
at
seatbelts
Grudek
or
and
anything.
goes,
Pile in,
Hey,
shove
there-
Grudek in the front seat.
not in the building per se, but there is a huge worm-tainted presence underneath. I could sense it through the floors. Probably many black spirals. If it's not black spirals, I don't even want to think what it could be.
Well,
All right. Could
it's
be.
also almost
could
certainly
be-
black spirals, C says, opening up the journal and flipping to the page.
This will pull out. Apparently, someone tagged the walls, so
Shite. Okay. All right. All right. I didn't. All right.
sorry. We wanted to report back, not.
Yo,
Make-
no. You made absolutely the right call. I just once these fuckers dig in, it's just yeah. All right. Did you find anything or the one that you encountered before?
Fortunately, he was either underground or somewhere out.
They had left this small child alone.
Wait, what?
The little girl.
Was there alone? What
Sister.
What did she say?
We did not enter the.
Okay, that's probably smart. Yeah. How do you know she was alone in there?
I could smell her. I could not smell the boy or the mother.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
The mother in me wants to stay here and watch to see if her mother comes back for her. But I know I have to get you back to the Sept as well. Tell you what, one of you. She looks at C and hands him her keys. Do you think you could drive this thing?
It's a little larger than my vehicle, but I can probably make it home, and I think I can get someone to bring you back your vehicle.
Just don't worry about it. I'll get some other transportation back to the Sept later, but I'm gonna have you drive your pack back up to the cairn, and I'm gonna stay here and keep an eye on the building.
I will reach out and put a hand on her shoulder. Be careful. They are many balloons.
Oh yes, I am strictly recon.
I don't know how helpful it is, but I took some pictures of what was graffitied down there in addition to the spiral. If any of it means anything to you, I can send it.
Wonderful. What you could do at some point, if you get the chance, if you go back to your house or somewhere with a good printer, if you could actually print out those pictures for the elders and people who don't really use electronic media, who could have them, in hard copy, that would be excellent.
Again, I don't know how much it'll mean, but hey, if there's something else we can tie to this, that information's good.
I'm sure that Tea Tree would love to have that, as part of the file that I'm sure she's keeping on all this. So yes, if you could get a hard copy. It's not the most urgent thing, but when you have some downtime, a hard copy would be great. All right. See, take good care of my old girl and get her back to the overflow parking, and I'll find myself a ride back up there shortly.
should we talk to anybody back at the cairn? Let them know what we found and what you're doing out here.
This I've just got to leave to your judgment. I'd like to advise you on who I think is trustworthy and who I don't think is trustworthy, but I'm aware that I have certain biases and that I might be misled by my loyalties. Obviously, I'm not going to suspect my own pack members, for example, which would be Rips and Tea Tree and Sky Teeth. But so
You don't want us to tell anyone that you're over here. Go on.
well, you can tell them. Just be careful. Just use your best judgment on what parts of the story are safe. I think it's all right to tell them that we went down here looking for the black spirals and that you are pretty sure you found them, and so that I'm keeping an eye on the building. But just be very careful that you don't say anything that gives any indication that you think there might be some someone in the sept
This is
that's
the 5th floor building. If you're looking at it from this angle, here's the window that she'd be at.
okay.
We have no reason to think that she herself is a dancer, but probably kinfolk.
Yes. All right.
So,
I'll keep an eye out and keep an eye on the entrance there. See if anyone matching the description of the mother and the boy enters. And I'm just going to probably stay here, probably overnight, and I'll try to come back tomorrow.
I won't have service at the sept, but you have my phone.
Right. And just let Tim know that I'll be out overnight. It's not the first time I've been gone all night, but he'll want to know just to make. He'll need to know that he won't have my help in guarding the cairn. So
I'll make sure that those who need to know as much as they need to know.
thank you. That's what I was trying to say. Yes.
Good luck, Mother Gaia. Watch over you.
Thank you. You as well.
Give him hell,
Critic-
sister.
So she
Rudek has
hops
been
out
really
of the driver's seat and.
I think can I say one thing to her before she gets out?
Oh sure, yeah. Sure.
Grudek's been really quiet, I think, but as she turns to get out, Grudek will. He's still looking down, sort of at the floor, and he says, "Silverglare, I know that you are Wormfoe, and I am only Cleath, but as you said, your concern here comes from being a mother. I'm concerned about what lies in that building, and I'm concerned about what might happen. Remember that you are a mother. You have those that rely on you. Again, I am not trying to doubt your judgment, but please consider coming back with us. We can stay with you, or at least some of us can stay, or you can wait and return with others."
I appreciate your concern, Grudek, but if you talk to Siobhan and Oshin, you'll find that they're both well aware that anytime their mother leaves, she may not be coming back. This is something that they've been aware of since the day they were born, and they'll be all right. They know what their job is. They know what their place is, and I'm sure they would be more than happy to receive any comfort that you have to give them. But they're tough kids, and they'll be all right.
I'll make sure that they will be.
Thank you.
And then before she gets, I said, again, I understand I may be overstepping my bounds as Cleath, but one more question, if I may.
All right, your test of my patience, but I'll let you have one more.
Who were you speaking to earlier?
Just a friend, not kinfolk, just a regular human, someone I met in the city we're friendly on occasion.
Critic holds up his hands and says, I'm sorry. I have overstepped. Don't let me hold you up any further.
It's all right. I'll see you tomorrow when I come back.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
She gives you a little wave. Don't crash my car.
It'll be fine. All right. Let's get going, everyone.
All right. So any discussions you want to have on the way back?
Should we stop for this printer on the way?
What time is it? You said it was 3 when we went here.
Yeah, it was getting close to 4 when you started driving and then there was traffic. And so it's probably like the sun is setting, the park is closing kind of thing.
Is Kinko still open?
Well, I was actually thinking San Francisco Public Library System, but either way.
If it's anything like the library here, it'd probably be closed around sunset. Let me check.
Kinko's is typically open till like 8 or 9.
It close at like 8 or 9, but they actually have a budget, so it may not be. I don't know when.
Let's say this is a Thursday, and it looks like they close at 6 on Thursdays, most of them. So yeah, you probably wouldn't get there in time.
Okay. I think personally, I feel like it's probably not the most urgent thing to print these out. Probably better to be sure we get back. But if we want to stop, that's.
I can take you to a place with my vehicle in the morning if we feel the need to.
That's probably a good idea. And Thistle's just been sort of looking out the window back towards the entire time.
Grudik has been uncharacteristically quiet.
We should let her pack mates know. They will know
Yes.
how best to situation.
Yes, I'll let people know when we get there if the rest of you want
Tig
to
is
focus on
really
investigation.
fidgety right now.
Poor Tig.
Tig,
Curiosity denied.
are you all right, Tig?
Hmm?
I sort of like lean closer. Are you all right?
Oh, sure. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Just
That-
thinking.
That doesn't sound fine.
Yeah. It's a touch half baked, but I'll let you know when I come to a conclusion.
You remind me of my youngest pup when he got into his head that it would be a good idea to investigate the shells on the shore. He did not think the idea was so good when a crab had him by the tail.
Our crabs will get that way sometimes.
Shadow, you grew up a wolf.
Mm.
I know I'm new to this, but I'm still looking back. How does she stand it? The being not with.
When you are away from your pack, there is a sense of loneliness. But it is the knowledge that you are away to protect them that keeps you going. No matter what may happen to me, my sacrifice will keep my pack safe. That is my job. That is my sacred duty. It is hers as well.
How do you make that decision if you're alone?
It is the only decision I can make.
And I think we will break there for now. It's 20 to 9.
All right.
And yeah, and the next thing would be just starting into another complicated thing. So we will
right.
we'll save that for next time.
As a reminder for those watching you on the Twitch channel, we are doing our giveaway for our Cognitive Merchant Dice Cup giveaway. So go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Johnny A. Bates, right up here. Check out the tweets that I'm sending out with links to how to enter to win those. We're doing the first of 4 giveaways right now. It's going to run for 30 days, and then we're going to pick a winner next month. It is actually, hang on, right here. It is this bespoke, handcrafted leather dice cup. So if you need something very fancy and very nice to carry your dice in and also to roll them in, feel free to enter and you could win. So
Also, if you don't need anything really fancy but really want the fancy,
I mean, want, these are words. But yes, feel free to enter to win, and we'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.